Hey guys, just gonna pop in here real quick. So here's a little. Here's the story behind this. We are doing a Batman Arkham series retrospective because of a tweet that came out um, not that far ago from where I'm recording this. This being the intro. I'll throw that up here if I can find the pictures and such. But I mean that this is all just. I originally did this. We do this live from the Facebook group, the Facebook page, and we usually go live. We're starting to go live there. We record this and just upload these later, like this, in a podcast, pseudo podcast form. That's how we're gonna be doing this from here on out. So you'll see new stuff from the writers' room and all this other stuff. I'll be getting. It's an easy, excuse me, it's an easy way to get fan interaction. Then you can see whatever we're talking, like suits and everything else. Or if we're talking about specific things, I can throw the pictures up here. It'll just be a different experience altogether. If you want to keep going to the YouTube thing, it's going to be here for you. If you're going to go to the Facebook group, it's facebook.com/TheRyanCrossProject. And just find it that way. But here's the episode. Enjoy, guys.
Here, got a little bit of B-roll for us here, as I was just kind of trolling along. Okay, and we're gonna go live, and now. Okay, as soon as I get the signal, hey guys, it's me again. But here's the thing, I'm not doing this alone, and you read this right. This is a Batman Arkham series retrospective. Of course, I have with me Dave, not Dan, Dave, because I've messed it up so many times. I'm not sure why. It's gotten to be a bad joke at this point, So it's got, it's the joke has become the Arkham origins of this kind of game here. So it's so that's just my opinion. So Dave, you are here. Are you ready to jump into this, man? This is an Arkham series retrospective.
I'm super excited to jump into this. I got my Joker statue behind me and stuff. Very excited.
Show off.
Excited. I'm ready. I love talking about this game series. It might be one of my favorite series. I'm doing laundry. I would have put one of those shirts on too. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite game series as a whole, so I'm super excited to jump on in and talk about it.
All right. Okay, cool. So, before we get started this, there's a couple of things I kind of want to get out of the way here. Let's start with the overall experiences of this series first. I'm gonna switch this up because I'm tired of seeing myself not fully, so it's an egotistical thing. Okay, there, because I use the full range of camera for hand motions. So let's talk about our before we jump into the reviews of this stuff. What are your experience? What's been your experiences? Because we're gonna start right now with Arkham Origins and Asylum. We're gonna go chronologically in the game series.
So my experience with the games and stuff was Origins and I think City was coming out around the time I first played Asylum, and I got it through a buddy of mine who's telling me all about it, and he was like, dude, it's awesome. And I was like, there will never be a good Batman game. There won't be a good superhero games. Ultimate Alliance, that stuff's fine, but it doesn't make me feel like a superhero and stuff. And he was like, you're wrong. And I came to school the next day, and there was a brown paper bag taped to my locker.
Which says it's as shady as anything.
No, it doesn't. With
not at all.
With the game inside Arkham Asylum, I'm talking about, and just a little sticky note on it, being like, play this. Went home that night and just powered through it, and I was hooked. And then like 2 weeks later or something, City got announced, and I was like, oh, I'm in. And I was just hooked ever since then. Through the highs of Arkham City, to the mediocring of Arkham Origins, to the lows of Arkham Knight. I'm just super excited.
We're gonna fight.
To talk about this. Yes, we are.
And here's the best thing. When it comes to our opinions, we bookend this, which is hilarious.
Yeah, to get it out of the way. I love Origins.
Yeah, you're an Origins defender. I'm a Knight defender, and I'm like, this will be fun. Yeah. So with me, my experiences was when I first got a 360 for Christmas many years ago. This is before I wised up. Because I still don't like that I started playing this game on the inferior console. But we're not going to go into that.
How dare you?
We're not going to go to that flame war right now. Although PlayStation's still better.
How dare you?
Hey, move along. So, I first started playing this as the demo because I couldn't really play a lot. I didn't have a lot of money, or my parents, or we didn't have a lot of money for games. So I would go. It was like birthday money and stuff. I would get good games. But I remember playing the demo of this, and I was wrong the first time. It leads from the main part, like when Joker first breaks out, because you skip the whole walking thing. You skip that. And then you go straight into that part. It's like 2 cutscenes, driving, dropping them off, going to the thing, whatever. We'll get to that later when we get to the game. But I got hooked on because I'm more more aesthetics than anything else. That's why I'm a sucker for skins. I don't know why. They do absolutely nothing, but they look cool anyway. That's a whole other discussion.
Yeah.
So I started looking at this, and this is the first time I remember using the term badass. I was like, I was playing, my dad was sitting there watching me, he was like, I don't care if you don't like me saying this, that is badass. He goes, watch your mouth. I'm like, shut up. It is. So, but yeah, it's just from there, I just got hooked, and like Arkham City was like, I think the second game, was it the first or was it the second game I ever pre-ordered?
Wow.
Second game I ever pre-ordered. And
same way for me too. Like City was the first game I ever pre-ordered.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing. I bought the Arkham Asylum used. I pre-ordered not Origins. I would have wasted my money. Poke. I pre-ordered.
That's what you got for pre-order, right?
Well, if you got the deluxe version, sure. So I pre-ordered City. I skipped Origins altogether. Like, I didn't pre-order it. I picked it up, though, at Walmart for $20 with all the DLC, so I was like, I'm good. And then I pre-ordered to the max
Night.
Night. And I was so happy. Because, dude, I got the game, which means I got the system, which was all Batman stuff. It was like 500 gigs, silver, bat symbol on it, like Batman on it. You got like the black and silver controller. It was amazing. I bought the season pass. I spent like $500 on a game, essentially.
Oh my god, worth it.
Yes,
I've seen the console. It's a pretty sweet. PS4.
But now it's a little blow to my pride because like a month ago it was free on PlayStation Plus.
That's always how it goes, right?
But it's fine though, because like I felt better because I felt like I was in good company. Because this month it's The Last of Us remastered and MLB, so I was like, if I'm in the same company as The Last of Us, I don't feel so bad.
I gotta go re-download that so that I can play it again.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, but this is the Batman show.
Yeah. No. Me. So. Anyway, so getting to the games now. The games themselves. Origins. First initial thoughts when playing Origins.
Origins, I remember the lead up to that game. Do you remember like just the trailers and stuff with like Deathstroke and Batman fighting in the air in that like big shipping yard, and Black Mask comes in and whacks the dude with a burning 2x4.
Yeah,
and you're just like, oh my god!
Go ahead.
This is going to be the greatest game ever made. And look at that.
And it had the second best Deathstroke fight. Just saying, the second best out of the series.
Why don't you just go? You live in Florida. Just go walk into the ocean. You go find Killer Croc out there in the swamp. All right, we're not even get it. But I thought, as I said earlier, I'm a big fan of. I really like Origins.
Yeah.
Now that mainly comes from the story, because I think from a gameplay perspective, when you go from City to Origins, it's a big step down.
Yeah.
But and the main thing of that is getting the Electrocutioner's gauntlets and just like double click sticks to win.
It's like poof, done, poof, done, poof, done.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think? First time you were playing through Origins and stuff, what did you think about it?
First time I was playing through Origins, I actually started watching the whole gameplay stuff, so I was like, oh, this is cool. This is whatever. But then when I bought it, again, I bought it with all the DLC stuff, so I got all the suits and whatever by default, which is fine. I first started playing, I was like, this is cool. This is alright. I mean, the suit was alright. You know, the suit was cool. It was definitely cool. But as far as everything else goes, I was just kind of not feeling it. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It was, at the time, it was a good Batman game. Not the best, because we had, like you said, just gotten City. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I gotta talk. We can talk for like, I think the entire episode will just be City. To be honest.
City may end up being a whole episode. This may become a 3-part series. Asylum's an origin, City, Night,
and
the
DLC.
future.
Yeah, Night, DLC, and future. That's it. That's pretty much how it should go. But yeah. So I enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't really get the whole... I mean, I got the whole thing. I mean, I got the story of it. Apparently not all of it, because I might have missed a couple of things because I didn't 100% the game. I know. Shame on you. I know. But from what I did play, because I just didn't want to go through the whole, like, unlocking the fast travel stuff.
Yeah, that...
And I was just
and that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, in City especially, the way you move around the city and stuff is so good and just so much fun.
Yeah.
And then putting either a fast travel mechanic in with the Batwing or, you know, a tank to make you not explore the city and stuff, just makes the games not feel as good to play.
Well, I will take the Batmobile over the fast travel system.
That's fair.
Because with something that... We're going to get to it, but I'm going to say this now. Because with a map that big, you kind of need something to keep you moving. Otherwise, you're gliding like ever. And I had enough of that in Origins, and I was like, I'm not doing that again. No. I mean, it's fun. It's definitely... Oh, that's for the night review. Stay on target.
Yeah. As our resident Origins defender here, I'll say there are some incredible things that started in this game that get carried on into Night that really, even though I said the gameplay was a step down.
Oh, yeah.
There are some really nice improvements. Like, this is the first game where you have to where there's those ninja enemies that you have to counter their counters and stuff.
Also, one of the better gameplay mechanics of it, that came out of this was the reconstructing the crime scene.
Yes, that's so cool.
Yeah, it took me a while to find the right word. I was like, reconstructing. There you go. Sorry.
I remember at the time when I first saw that being like, that's so cool. Why doesn't he have that in the other game? So what I came into my head was, so this story takes place, I think, a year and a half into Batman's career, something like that.
Yeah, like a year or something.
Yeah. So in my head, I'm like, so he's just starting out. And then I think they've said like 7 years in between Origins and Asylum.
Something like that.
Something like that. So I'm just like, in those 7 years, he just became a much better detective, and he didn't need that anymore.
Right.
He was just able to skate.
Until Arkham Knight, when he's like,
I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah. And I think some of the characterizations of a lot of the 8 core assassins, I think, is really cool.
Or in my case, 6.
That's true. Now, kind of bullshit. Like, I don't know if you remember this in the lead up, but I was like all in the hype train, journeying it and stuff. And they were like, and the 8 assassins, and like every week they were revealing a different one. And they're like, Lady Shiva, Deadshot,
Dope.
Deathstroke.
Dope.
And then Firefly got revealed. I was like, okay, we're stretching. And then they revealed the female Copperhead, which I'm like,
dope.
Why? That's so cool.
Yep.
And you can tell they just put her in because they're like, we're not going to do Scarecrow again. We're saving him for his big shot in night. But her stuff was just so cool, and I love the redesign of her. And I wish that carried on into the comics and stuff because it actually made me interested in her.
Yeah.
And then you get Bane in there, and like really cool version of Bane.
Yeah.
Before this is before he gets like super roided out and stuff. He's somewhere in between Asylum and Tom Hardy. There's somewhere in there that Origins Bane falls.
Yeah.
So kind of bullshit though in my thing because like right before the games ended or got released, they were like, and we've been revealed 7 of the 8 assassins, and then we're like, who's it gonna be? Who's gonna be the last assassin? Killer Croc at the end. The first cutscene, Batman's like, 8 of the most deadly assassins have come to town to take me on, and it's like, well, we already before you even get to this cutscene, you've defeated Killer Croc.
Well, 7 now.
Alfred, 8. I had 8 squares. Obviously, I had to put Killer Croc in there.
It's like it's like he puts him up just to cross him out.
One down. I think
Progress
it's
bar.
It's so cool.
It is.
And like, I think arguably the best boss fight in any of the in the entire Arkham series is the Deathstroke fight.
Yeah. As much as I bust your chops, that was pretty cool. That is the best fight. Yeah.
Because it's about that far away from just being a quick time event.
Oh yeah.
But you have enough control over it where you're like, oh no, these two are just peak human. They are perfect human beings who are, I don't know who could win this fight. And I love the like escalation of like, you take his stick and you break it, and then he's got a sword. You break his sword and you're like, all right, now we're just gonna punch each other. No, he's got another sword.
No, it's like he has gun, then bow staff, then sword.
Yeah.
Or swords.
Yeah, he's got, because he's always got the gun because he's using the back claw and stuff, and that's because that's where you get it. I love.
No, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Because I love the way that Deathstroke, as we discussed in my Declassified episode, and stuff, Deathstroke's my favorite supervillain. I love him so much.
Yeah.
I love you're just talking to Penguin and you're beating him up and stuff, and you just see a guy walking around in the background, and then out of nowhere, whoosh, and he just sucks you up, and then and they clearly know each other.
Yeah.
Well, not know each other, but like know of each other, because I think he calls him Slade.
He does.
He's
like Slade.
It's like, oh my god! Already these two have such great, like, a rivalry. Even though he's only on screen for like 5 minutes tops, which you did my boy dirty by only giving him 5 minutes of screen time, and yet we have 2 electrocutioner scenes.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that right quick. First time you see Electrocutioner. What was your, like, head? What was your mindset going into that battle? Was it kind of like hang back, see what's going on, or trying to, like, lay in the first punch?
So it goes back to, like, that cutscene where Batman's talking about these deadly assassins. And because of the lead-up and stuff, I had done some research on my own and like, read up about Electrocutioner. So I was like, okay. So I'm probably going to want to, like, keep my distance, probably throw some batarangs at him, disorient him, hit him from behind, kind of take it Mr. Freeze. And then if you don't hit him for long enough and you just start, like, stalking back and forth, little prompt, hit X shows up. And I'm like,
Square.
Oh, okay. Okay, well,
Square.
whatever.
No, it's Square.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you played it on the inferior console. I'm sorry.
Well, we're not. This is not what this show is about. So if you do that, X shows up and it's like hit X, and I'm like, okay, so they're gonna teach me. You get hit. You get if you attack him head on, you get electrocuted, and then it goes into the One Punch Man scene. And
Yes,
I'm
it
like,
does. I swear, someone needs to cut that scene out and go One Punch.
Someone's done that. That's gotta exist.
Probably, it's got to be a GIF somewhere.
Yeah.
But that was funny. Because I sat there for not 5 minutes or so, but I sat there for a couple minutes going, okay. It's like, and I just pressed square. He lays him out, and I was like, I couldn't help but laugh. I was like, oh. If the Electrocutioner had any fans, he does it now.
The funny thing about this game came out around the same time as Gotham was first starting up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And there was an Electrocutioner. I only watched the first 2 seasons, but the Electrocutioner's in that, and I'm pretty sure Jim Gordon beats him by throwing a glass of water at him.
That sounds about right.
I'm like, man, DC just did the guy who created Electrocutioner piss them off sometime recently?
Or they just really realize like how bad of a character he actually is, and be like, yeah, he's human, he's got electricity, water would take him out, fry him a little bit. Unless you're Batman, you just punch him right in the face and you're done. So,
speaking of Batman this is the only game in the series where Batman and Joker are not Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill.
Roger Craig Smith and Troy Baker.
Yeah. What do you think of their performances as Batman and Joker, respectively?
Just like I said earlier, I mean before we went on screen here, I went ahead and started playing Arkham Origins again through PlayStation Now. I went back and I forgot a couple of things that were a part of the game, and I was like, but I really like his portrayal of a young Batman, because that's what it sounds like. It's a young Batman. He sounds angrier. He sounds like he's gonna legit take your head off. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah, and like when one of the coolest scenes in the entire franchise, I think, is Batman sneaking into the GCPD.
Oh yeah,
and the entire time, because you get that like energy about you, you're like, oh my god, these are cops. You don't want to be beating them up, but then you find like I forget what the sergeant lieutenant's name is, and he's like, we're gonna kill the Bat for Black Mask, and I'm like, oh no, now all these cops need to die.
I think that officer's name was Brendan. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Something
because
like
if it was Brendan, that's more of a a Batman Year One thing.
Yeah,
because it was I think it was Lieutenant Brendan, who was a part of like the Gotham PD SWAT team, who just destroys everything because of Commissioner Loeb, who I love, was still corrupt, which is funny. And I'm like, okay. So.
But in that scene and stuff, you hear Alfred being like, doing what I was doing at the beginning, where I started out as Alfred, and Alfred's like, these are police officers, don't hurt them, Master Wayne. That's the terrible Alfred. And then Batman's like, if they get in my way, they get what they deserve. And I'm like, not Kevin Costner.
What would that Batman sound like? Oh God,
a lot like Superman's dad.
Fair enough.
But Kevin Conroy and stuff. I'm like, he would never say that about these police officers. These are good men.
Yeah.
But this guy's like, I'm gonna take them down. And even when he's talking, and there's that scene where Joker's blowing up the buildings and stuff, and he's got him. He's like, how many people were in that building? How many people did you kill? I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna. I know this is a prequel, but I'm pretty sure Batman's about to snap Joker's neck.
He's not Superman. Relax. More DC jokes. But yeah,
Superman had no choice. He had to do it. Where would they have kept Zod? Where would they have kept?
Oh no, I'm totally the same thing. I just find it funny that we just keep making jokes about everything DC.
Yeah.
But But yeah, so that's cool. I mean, yeah, that was really cool. One thing though, I completely forgot about since I haven't played this game in like ever, was the grading system for when you got into encounters and such.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like grade B vigilante, grade C do-gooder or something like that. I was like, oh, okay.
There was a similar system in the other games that rolled out not SP, XP based on how well you performed, like how many gadgets you used and stuff.
Yeah,
it just didn't have the names, right?
Right. Because it was like, I know in Night they were like not seen, never seen, never shot, and didn't have any like invisible predator stuff. But it was just, there was that, which I think kind of led into how Arkham, I mean not Arkham, duh. How Night, I gotta remember that we gotta keep referring to these by the last word in the thing, not just Arkham. Which one?
Yeah.
So it's like how Origins kind of affected Night in that way, to where they kind of fully embraced that grading system type thing, but kind of broke down what it was. You know, usually it was like free flow combo, free flow combo, like 36 times 10, so you got 360 XP.
Yeah,
which is cool.
I'm pretty sure it also said like number of gadgets used.
Oh yeah, gadget, like variations and such. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there'd be variations, gadget variations, and that type of stuff. But that was one thing kind of like made me surprised. I forgot all about that part. I was like, oh, dip. Okay, that's cool. I didn't see that. Go ahead.
I love Commissioner Gordon's portrayal in this game, where you totally get why he would, by the time we get to Asylum and Night, why he's like, we're best bros. Yeah. We're best bros. I get it.
We're Bat Bros. Gotcha.
We're Bat Bros.
Bat Bros! That should be a spin-off parody. Oh, I've got to make that a comic thing. I've got to make that a thing.
Bat Bros is just all the Robins getting together and hanging out.
Yeah. Like that. Yeah, I was going to side tangent so hard. Never mind.
Stay on target.
Working on it.
But I really enjoy that, and I think the police in general in this game get a lot of, because this is really the only game that the cops have a little, I'd say a major role, because they have a smaller role in Night. But in this game and stuff, you get all the characterization, because like even when the first time you fight the Joker and you fall through everything, the cops arrest Joker and they're like, where's your partner, where to go and stuff. And then when they show up and they're like, move Commissioner Gordon and we're going to shoot the bat, and then they try to shoot him. Okay? As like the cops, you get like a sense of Gotham as a place, as opposed to, because this is really the only game in my head that like takes place in Gotham, because Asylum takes place in the Asylum, City takes place in Arkham City, which is not, it's a different thing. And then Night is just, it's derelict, only bad people and cops live there now. But this one, you get a sense for like the people of Gotham and like what life is actually like there.
So you mean in Origins, Gotham is more of another character rather than just a setting?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, just to kind of shorten it, because I like it took me a little bit to figure out what you were trying to say, and I was like, and then you're like, when she started reading, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
That's why there's two of us here.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'd be Origins sucks. The end.
What is it about Origins that you really? What is the hang up for you on Origins?
For me, the hang up is all of the gliding. You don't really. You shouldn't have to. If you visit a place and break that code, you should be able to fast travel to that location. You shouldn't have to collect all the data packs, because they're not Riddler trophies. You shouldn't have to collect all the data packs, solve whatever else you gotta solve. I'm like, who has time for that crap? I'm like, if you do it, more power to you. It's just, for me at that time, it just wasn't it. And then there was, because I haven't replayed it since until like a second ago, and I couldn't get past Croc because I have it on hard.
Yeah, Croc's tough.
Yeah.
And Riddler, I love the Riddler.
Not Riddler. Enigma.
Oh, sorry, Enigma.
Or Enigma.
This is the worst he's ever been. He just sucks. He's annoying. His riddles aren't that interesting.
I mean, the only thing that can make him better is putting him in a mech suit. I mean, that's the only thing I can really think to make him better.
That sucks. That's all. I also have so many issues with that, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that when we get to Night.
Oh, yeah, we will.
I also, so we're probably wrapping up on Origins here in a second.
Coming towards the end of it, yeah.
But, so let's talk about something that has nothing to do with the stories.
Oh, wait, before we start to wrap this up, there is one thing, though, I do really appreciate about Origins. Yep. One thing I wish they carried on. You do not have to leave the game to change your suit.
Yeah, that's cool. I do like that. Because you just go back to the Batcave, right?
Yeah, go to the Batcave, go to the suit thing, and you're just there. I was like, cool.
Yeah. Does not make sense, though, that you would put back on the damaged suit at all.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. This is for a whole other review. But I would like to review the Spider-Man PS4 game sometime because I'm drawn towards the end of that. So maybe after that, that'll be our next thing we kind of hit up.
I still gotta clean up all the DLC in that game, but
oh yeah, me too. It's like I still got side stuff to do, and that was one thing I kind of came to a conclusion on as I was playing it last night. And this would just be a one note thing for me. When it comes to, if we're going to compare those two games, or the Arkham series to the Spider-Man PS4 game, it's okay for Spider-Man to have things like loose ends to tie up. It does not feel the same if you reach the end of a Batman game for that. Does that make any sense?
Oh, yeah, because Batman's fight is never done. Spider-Man's
life's always going wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just one thing that kind of popped in my head last night as I was like, you know what? I don't have to chase this down right now. I can go do the main story and have a continued story through this and the DLC, which makes sense.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I wanted to bring up before we finished our talk on Origins is the controversial inclusion of multiplayer into the Batman games. What did you think about that? Because you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah. Tried it. I had a better experience on Gotham Imposters.
Is that it?
That sums it up in a sentence, yeah. Do you remember Gotham Imposters?
I do, and I played it for a while.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one. Go ahead.
It always felt weird to be shooting people dressed as, wearing Batman's symbols and stuff, so I was like, ooh, that feels weird.
It was Fortnite's Batman before Fortnite's Batman.
That's fair. This multiplayer should be in every game. They should have put it in. They should have put it back into. It should have been in Night. In the next game, it needs to be in. They should have found a way to put it into City. It's so good. It's that three-way battle that you have. Between I'm shooting. I remember very vividly and stuff. I was pinned down on one side by two guys, and their Joker. I was on Bane's team, and the other team was Joker, and their hero Joker was coming up, and I was shooting at him. I was like, I'm gonna take him down, and then we're gonna get our Bane. It's gonna be awesome. And as I'm doing that, I see Joker start going the other way. I'm like, what's going on? And I just suddenly I'm like, whoosh, whipped up in the sky, and I'm just taken out as Batman. Batman has taken me out, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, no, this is terrifying. I hate. Why does anyone do crime in Gotham? If this is an option, and I think that fear and stuff leads into the fear that you feel in the multiplayer and stuff bleeds into and probably helped set the groundwork for some of the horror aspects in Arkham Knight that you get to in like the psychological bits. But I'm talking about Origins right now.
Yeah.
It felt good. I think the shooting felt good. The traps all made sense. The only thing was, after 3 weeks, no one was playing it. So what do? You get in a game, you immediately add that person as a friend, add them to a party. You guys drop out and you do that 8 times. So we got 8. And the Batman crew sent out a message being like, "Who's online right now?" You'd see in their notifications, it's like this person's playing this. You just send out a notification being like, "Time to Batman." And for like 2 months, it was me and the same 8 people. We never did like voice chat and anything because we were all from like different countries and like almost none of us spoke the same language. But it was great. And I hope that makes a comeback. Also, if you look at the Robin in that game, it's very interesting. It's not Dick Grayson. You can tell just based on the Nightwing character model they use in the other games. Then you look at that Robin, and you're like, those aren't the same. So the Robin you play as in Origins multiplayer, Jason Todd. My boy.
I'm not sure if that's confirmed or nothing, but if this is the end on it, I mean, that's fine. I mean, it was different. It was definitely an interesting like attempt. I mean,
I thought. Oh, sorry.
It's like you enjoyed it, cool. I bought the game way too late to try and enjoy it because I was like, this is just dumb.
Does it work on PS now?
I haven't tried it. I'm not going to.
Jump in. End the podcast. Go.
No.
I always thought that a cool multiplayer thing, when I heard they were doing multiplayer, I was like, so clearly there's going to be different modes. There's going to be like a deathmatch mode. I was like, there's probably going to be a mode where like Batman has to take down goons and stuff. And I thought that they had spent so long developing these 8 assassins and stuff, and they had the character models and stuff, and I was like, you can play as Deathstroke in some of the challenge missions and stuff. Obvious. Bane, pretty self-explanatory. Copperhead, you just use the Catwoman stuff that you did from City. And I was like, there's clearly going to be a boss battle mode where everyone plays as a different assassin and you have to fight. And I was like figuring it out. I was like, Deathstroke just plays like Batman. Deadshot's like a sniper character. Electrocutioner, don't know what he's going to be about, but I'm sure it'll be cool. Sure that he won't just be like a glass cannon. But yeah.
Spoilers. He was.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've also never talked about that, and I'm like putting it on the internet being like, WB Montreal, you're making a new Batman game right now. I want Boss Rush, the multiplayer mode.
That would be different. I mean, that I would be up for if the bosses were really good. Oh. Meaning for the next game, not this game, because this game was just awful.
Okay, you can't even say that, because like if you were gonna put a score on the Origins, I would say you would give it like a 7.5 at the lowest. At the lowest, you could give it 7.5.
I'd give it a 6.
There's no way. You're crazy. Here's what it is. You're like, well, I'm giving Knight a 7, and I have this stupid stance that Knight's better, so I can't give them the same score. That's what's happened. I don't care if you say it's not. It is.
Oh boy. No. It's just honestly for me though, thinking about it, it would actually get a 6 from me if I had to give a rating. Yeah, it's just there wasn't a lot. My experience, there wasn't a lot to it. There wasn't much for it. The Joker thing was weird. It was a weird side tangent.
What do you mean by that?
It's like when Joker was getting interviewed or whatever with Harley, you just go through that weird mind thing that Joker does. You don't remember that?
Oh yeah, no, I do. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's just like that. That was weird. And then just everything else, just like not for me. You know, if you like the game, cool, but I'm not gonna be rude and be like, oh, it's a 2. No, it's a comparable Batman game. It's just not the best in the series for me.
Yeah.
You know,
and you know what? Even as a defender, if I was to rank them, this is number 4. I like it better, but if I'm being objective,
which
it's
means
4.
Night is above this game.
Well, yes, I have a lot more negative opinions about Night, but
I know we'll get there when we get there. But yeah.
Well, let's talk about Asylum.
Yes, the second best of the games, because that's not even arguable. That's almost fact.
I go back and forth between this one and City, honestly.
That's why I said it's like in the top 2, not exactly number 2, but like top 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, there's so much to unpack here because I just got all but like the last few like PlayStation trophies for it because I got the remastered version.
Yeah.
And I see so much more because I'm playing on a bigger screen, and B, it's got so much more definition. It's like, it's just, oh my gosh. Where to start?
Well, how about this? How about we start with we get the voice cast pretty much from the animated series.
Yeah.
Now this game, when it came out, a lot of people, including Kevin Costner, were saying like they feel it's an extension, not a sequel to, but an extension of the animated series.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I think if you just look at this game by itself,
you mean this game as itself as an island?
Yeah. See what you did there. If you look at this game as an island by itself,
you're about to say as an island.
Yeah, not in a vacuum, but by itself, without talking about City and Night, because obviously history is different in those games.
Yeah, definitely.
But and we'll get there when we get there. But I think you really can look at this as like just a story in the animated series that you could totally see. Because I think Mark Hamill is arguably the best Joker of all time.
Who has the best line in this game?
Which one are we talking about?
Just before you because it's like as you're going through that, like when you just get the explosive gel and you go through that tunnel and you hear like Joker over the PA going, "What is it you fear, Batman? Not being able to save the commissioner? Watching this cesspool of a city die? Me? In a thong?" I'm like, best line, cut, print, we're going.
That is a good line.
That is the best line in that game.
Yeah.
Second only to the Riddlers. Are you cheating? Are you looking up the answers on the internet? To be honest, a couple.
No shame. I think
no shame.
This game, you can do this is the only game that I think you can actually do all the Riddler stuff without looking it up online, because for the most part, they're pretty, like, some of them will take you a while to you're just staring at the words and being like,
yeah, the one that kept screwing me up the most, and I'm so mad because it was like right there by the front freaking gate, was Tweedledee and Tweedle saw it. Can you see what they saw? I was like, okay, seesaw. Where's the fucking seesaw? Right there by the gate with their top hats on it.
Yeah. I think
not top hats, but their hat spinner things.
Yeah. I think this game is the one that you can like realistically do them all without looking them up online. Because once you get to City and stuff, and I'm a person who, I should have said this off the top, every achievement, all 4 games, including the multiplayer achievements in Origins, there were only 2, but I did it. I don't have all the DLC achievements for Night, but that's just because there's some stuff I just haven't done. But once you get to City and stuff, the riddles are just like, all right, stand at a 45-degree angle, look that way, and there's kind of a lightning bolt. Oh, obviously Maxi Zeus. Clear. Yeah. It's like there's no reasonable person would think that.
Yeah.
So I think this is good, and I love the characterization of every villain in this game, and even the heroes and stuff are so good. Even the characters you never see, like you never see Oracle and you never see Alfred in this game. You just hear them.
Yeah. You never see Killer Shark, but I liked his concept art. Oh, for crying out loud. Concept art. Golly.
Yeah.
You know, that was cool.
And also, like, it's so cool that this game, when you think about it, it's very reserved in the amount of, like, A-list villains that they use.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like...
Would you call Croc A-list?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I think Joker is probably the only A-lister that they actually use in this game. Because even Ivy, like, she's probably high B because to, like, general populace and stuff. But when you hear, like, it's going to be a Batman game taking place in the Asylum, I especially thought, all right, when's Penguin showing up? When's Two-Face showing up? And, like, they never do.
To be fair, Two-Face does show up, but only as a mention.
Yeah, and like, the answers to some of the riddles are, like, Harvey and Cobblepot's posters and what have you. But saving them for the sequel and being, as a developer, being brave enough not to throw all the big guys at you up front is so interesting. And because this came out I don't know if you know this, or I think we might have talked about it last time.
Originally going to be a Dark Knight tie-in game?
Yeah, because there was Batman Begins, the tie-in game.
Which was weird, I think. I only played the Game Boy Advance version. I never played anything else beyond that, so I was like, eh.
I played it. I think I actually beat it, but I don't remember it as well. It's not a game I've ever returned to.
Right.
And then they got delayed, and they developed this amazing fluid combat system.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff. Which, like, let's just take a second to talk about that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Because
so
good.
That's one thing I love, because a lot of games now implement something like that. Like, a perfect example is Spider-Man, the Spider-Man PS4 game. They implement it, but instead of counter, it's dodge, which I got when I went back to it after not playing it for like a couple of weeks or something, or so. I was completely screwed up. I was like, oh crap, like what was the dodge button again? I had to go back and look at the controls. I was like, and so I got so locked into Batman mode for a while. I was like, where's the Spidey Sense mode? Where can I see everything? It's like, you can't. Oh.
So,
I've been playing these all wrong.
So every year and stuff, I play through all 4 games. And stuff. Back to back.
Storyline or just everything?
I do storyline, and then I do some of my favorite side missions and stuff.
Oh, one question. When you play through Asylum, how soon do you get that Arkham City thing that no one got?
As soon as I can. I just go in there and I just look at it. It's not even an achievement or anything. It's just there.
I know, it's just great. I was like, it's not even a riddle, which I would have thought would have drove a lot of everybody nuts, which would have been really funny. It's like, there's that one riddle that no one can find, so no one can defeat Riddler until, like, that one person, like, what's behind that? It's like, I'm just going to start putting stuff. Boom! I found this thing. No one found it. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, Rocksteady had to leak it, right?
No, they blatantly put it out on their YouTube channel. It's like, Arkham City Easter egg in Arkham Asylum. We're like, there was one? Boom. A wall about,
well, to be fair,
a wall about that thick
nothing.
game-wise. Yeah. Yeah, about that thick, like, game wall-wise. I was like, oh.
Yeah, because you had to, if I'm not mistaken, you had to put all 3 explosive gels on there.
Here's what I did. I put it on, I backed off, went back, put it on that same spot, like, twice more, and it still blew up. I was like, it actually, I don't think it did blow up, but I think you had to put, like, a couple, like, different across ones.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is good. So I did the same thing. It's like, as soon as I got there, I was like, okay, Warren's in trouble, but I'm looking at his office. It's like, I'm going to do this real quick. I'll be right back.
I'm Batman. I got this.
Yeah.
Like, but going back to the combat and stuff, just that the way that you feel more powerful and stuff as you go through the game, because like the game starts with like you got those 4 dudes and stuff who Joker lets out, and like when you're starting to learn the combat before you start getting into like the rhythm of everything with like the counters and the cape dodging and stuff like that. Like it's like, oh man, like I really got to pay attention. And then by the end of it, there's like 13 guys. I can take them. Except there's that one guy with a gun. And you're like, you first.
No, that's the funny thing is like anytime I hear an alarm going off, I'm like, get away from that. It's like pop, 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 bloop, 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 stop. It's like a flying kick that goes like 20 feet. You're like, how does that work? You know what? He's Batman. Don't worry about it.
It's like, did he just do that triple handspring off just like his palms? How do you?
No, not even that. It's like he would hit one. He would like elbow one thug, and then just do like that kick he does, like that flying kick he does, like 20 feet that way to hit the guy who's at the box. Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'm good. That's cool. Okay, no, go for it. No, you're good. You got it. I was like, that's cool.
And just like the escalation of it, where at first they're just running around and you're like, oh man, that dude's got a pipe. He is most dangerous. And then Oracle comes on the radio and is like, dude, they got guns now.
Yeah, and that's one thing. What kind of asylum would have like automatic like assault rifles?
Well, to be fair, if you got like Poison Ivy and stuff, who if you let her out, she's gonna grow plants that will destroy the world, and you got like Mr. Freeze and other people like that, you're probably gonna. And I guess Man-Bat didn't exist, but you got like a lot of people who.
That's fair.
You know what? If they run, like, you should be taking these people out.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Now,
it's like
why they would need?
Good.
Why they would need high-powered sniper rifles?
Yeah. No.
And also like C4 and stuff, because they start blowing up the gargoyle.
Yeah.
Which when they start doing that, you're like, I have to change. The whole thing is get onto a gargoyle and wait.
Yeah.
And now you're on there for a couple seconds. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. I use that now as like a distraction of that's where I could have been. Now I'm over here behind you, which is always fun. Which I'm like, you gave me another tool to fool you. Good job. You're done. You know. But let's talk about now. I wanted to talk about the demo here because it took me a while to remember. Mm-hmm. So, the whole walk-in sequence that was cool. That got cut from the demo.
Mm-hmm.
So it was you see him get dropped off, you go to talk to Gordon, Joker escapes, you're in that first place, you go take out Zaz, you go through. There's like 2 Riddler trophies in the entire thing. So it's like you go through that air event. Halfway through, that air event explodes. So then you're at the thing where the security guard's like, please, I got a kid. You don't have to. You're right, I don't have to. I just want to. Those psychopaths. When you first learn about the Predator mode and you get to see the red guys, you do that.
Detective mode.
Yeah, it's like the stay in this vision all match and ignore the epilepsy. It's like blip, 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 blip. Like, are we done? No.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're done. Okay.
Why
is everything green?
Which I like that when you get to like city and stuff, they start messing with that, and it's like if you're in that mode, because they have like the backpack guys.
Yeah. I thought you were talking. Yeah. Sorry. No. I for a second I thought you were talking about like in like night where it's like they have the guys who will track you through the detective mode.
Or like the guys who are invisible if you're in detective mode.
Oh
and
yeah.
Stuff.
By the way, I tried that. That's a lie. They weren't invisible. And then again, they were already unconscious, so I don't think they were able to activate their suit.
Yeah.
So, either way. But I liked that throughout the games, you finally start to find ways to get countered, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But back to
that. That was cool. You go up there, you take out the guys, and then you beat up the 6 guys, not the 3 at a time, the 6 guys, and then you meet Joker, and then it's over. That's the demo.
So does it end with the like first Titan guy that you ever fight? The guy with like the one arm, the guy that everyone thought was Doomsday in the trailers.
That would have been why.
I don't know. Because after I played the game and stuff, I went back online and stuff, and I watched the trailers and I watched some reaction videos and stuff, and people were like, "This guy right here, you can see there's bones coming out of him. This is clearly Doomsday. We are hinting at a Justice League sequel." I know, it's failed Bane.
No, failed Titan.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Bane used Venom.
Sorry.
Titan is from... It's a derivative, whatever, it's fine.
It's Venom with Poison Ivy's plants.
I think, something like that, I don't know. But,
yeah.
But yeah, that was cool. I love... But getting to the game itself, I love the walk from gate to gate to gate to where you meet Gordon again.
Yeah.
But I was like, bruh, this is taking so long. And then you get trapped in an elevator more than once, which I thought was funny. Because each time something bad goes wrong. Something goes, like, looks like it's going to go wrong, but doesn't, which is funny. Because it's like the first one is like Joker strapped to the table, lights go out. It's like, where is he? What's he doing? And then it's just Batman's got his hand on Joker's throat. It's like, what? Don't you trust me? No, honestly, I don't.
You know, you're not doing a lot of stuff to make me trust you right now.
Right? So, it's one of those things. But, it's just a fun thing to watch, you know, and do, which is cool. But,
yeah. I wish there was an auto walk button for that part of the game, because I love looking around and stuff, but there's so many times where I'll just be like looking at something over there that I'd never seen before. I'm like, oh, I've never noticed that security camera before. Yeah. And then you just hear like Cash being like, hey, Batman, you guys coming? You coming? And it's like, oh my God, look how far away they are.
It's like, yeah, sorry, camera.
Just looking at the camera. Wayne Tech. I hear that Bruce Wayne guy, pretty cool guy. Not that I am. I've never met him, obviously.
Not that I am Bruce Wayne. Wait, what? Oops. But yeah. Let's see. What are some of your standout moments from this thing? We'll talk about the Scarecrow things as a separate part of this.
Yeah.
So what? Other than the Scarecrow stuff, what are some of your more memorable moments?
So one of my big memorable moments is, it's not a fight. It's not a cutscene moment. It's just a cool camera spin that they do. It's right after you like get outside for the first building for the first time, and you get onto the ledge, and the camera goes and just like sweeps around, and you see the entire asylum, and it comes back on Batman, and there's like rain in the background, and like not lightning, but I'm like, if it lightning now, it would be a little much. And it kind of looks like they're kind of recreating the classic Batman animated series, like poster or like episode cover and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Just that moment though, where it sweeps out, because whenever I think of Arkham Asylum before this game, I think of like one building. This is like a big building, and even when it's on an island or something, you always just think this is a building. It's got a bunch of different rooms, but then it sweeps around, and you just see, you're like, this Batman is in for it tonight. This is going to be a long night.
Ha 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 ha. Shut up.
And just, I remember that thought, and because I've always been a big movie guy, that's the kind of stuff that you can tell that originally they had been making it as a movie tie-in game, where that shot specifically, I'm like, that's very cinematic.
Yeah.
So they clearly learned a lot from like the Batman, from what they were working on beforehand.
Yeah.
And then I loved just the escalation of things, where every time you'd like go into the library and things would be one way, and you'd come out and suddenly there's so many more bad guys. Now there's snipers in there and stuff. So you have to, every time you leave a building essentially, or like progress the story forward, you're not returning to this static overworld. It's always changing, whether like Poison Ivy's got her plants now, or
the Insanes. Yeah.
There's
No. I figured out how to really explain that, because if you think about where they are, the pacification area,
yeah,
it's all of those, in my mind, who got affected by Scarecrow's toxin to the point where they can't come back, so they're just like gibbering, like crazed people who only see their fears and are trying to attack.
I get that, and Batman's a big scary guy.
Yeah, so, I mean, I hope that helps a little, because I know you had your own little, like, Poison Ivy thing in your head.
Yeah, my thought was, because if I'm not, like, that room, all those guys get released by Harley in one area, and then literally just right over there is Poison Ivy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's Joker who lets them go. It's like, speaking of crazy, let's see you light this thing up. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple, small thing, same thing. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm a stickler for details. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. I really like the evolution. Also, just the story and everything you find out, or even just like the little missable stuff. Like when you're first going to take down, when you're first going to like attack the Titan research area, right before you get the line launcher and stuff, and you're down in the sewers and you got to climb up. If you go to a certain behind a panel, just a Titan dude just drops down in front of Batman.
Yeah.
And just is dead, and I'm just like, oh my god, they are burning through this, and that really helps you. And this is where down in the crumbling area, which I always hate, I'm like, the bat launcher, it crumbles.
Yeah.
Aim for something else, Batman.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, there is metal. Aim for that.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I did like that, because it kind of fed into the more parkour parts of Batman, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is always cool. The free running type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I mean, that served a purpose for story, because it's like, if you go through there, you hear Joker like mixing the for lack of a better term, cocktail of the Titan formula. So it's like, a little red, a little green, a little shake, whoops. I'm like, he repeats that so many times. I'm like, when will you learn? That's not how that goes. But yeah, it's just it's a whole thing. And then, like you said, the what's it called? That Titan just dropping. He's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, and I think you hear Joker, like you can hear him because he's mixing it up there.
Yeah.
And he's just like getting frustrated that his guys keep dying.
Right.
It's like, why isn't it working? And I, as Batman, I'm like, I need to put a stop to this guy right now.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things, actually, in the entire game, it's not a boss fight, because I think this game has the worst boss fights in the entire franchise, because it's just move to left.
Yeah, or in Poison Ivy's case, I literally just ran around in circles. Through batarangs. Which, by the way, I took your advice for the triple batarang. Does not work.
No?
No.
Nah, it must be a PS4 thing. Only works on Xbox.
Shut up.
But it's, the Predator modes and stuff are so good, and specifically where there's right before you do the Bane boss battle, and you're going to get Commissioner Gordon away from Harley, and Harley's like, if I see the Batman, Gordon's dead. And if you turn on detective mode and you count how many bad guys there are, it's just like the number that's coming up is one more, because Bane's in the center, and you're like, and I'm like, okay, there's someone else here that I'm not seeing. So you're constantly on edge, and then you take Harley down eventually, and you're like, okay, I guess that was it. And then the Bane boss fight happens, and you're like, oh, I didn't even see that coming.
Yes. Best part is, though, he's not, like, walking around or anything. He's just kind of, like, chained up. Like, he's just,
He's just being milked of venom, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. But when Joker puts the Titan in him, or puts the Venom or whatever back in him, you hear bones stretch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just, dude, that's gotta hurt. I'm like,
It does.
brother, don't. Just, why do you do that to yourself?
And honestly, that little bit where he's just being, like, drained of everything, I love so much because it reminds me of one of my favorite episodes of Batman Beyond and stuff, where Terry McGinnis finds old Bane and he's in the chair and he's just being like doop doop doop, and the doctors being like, we're taking all of this to do whatever evil stuff we want to do, and it brings me back to those memories and stuff, and I'm like, that's so cool. That's such a cool idea. But then Bane fights you.
Yeah.
And you beat him by throwing your car at him.
Yeah, which is why he needs a new one. But so it's okay. I think one thing though, but just put a quick little pause on this one. I think one thing we should do is try and hunt down the what's it called? The prequel comics and or the Arkham whatever comics, whether it's City, Asylum, or whatever. We can like hunt those down, trying to fill in some of the gaps, which would have been fun. Kind of like complete the story a little bit, but whatever. I just started thinking about that.
The Arkham Knight comics leading in actually pretty good.
Yeah. But getting back to Asylum though, what else was there that was good?
There's the big thing that we haven't even talked about yet, which is Scarecrow.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to save Scarecrow for last, but but yeah, I mean, if there's not much else really to talk about, the triple Batclaw made its one and only appearance.
Yeah, I always found it annoying.
Same with the triple Batarang.
Yeah, well, I think the reason for that is starting in City, you can just like double click to throw Batarangs and stuff.
No,
so
that was also in what's it called? Asylum too. That's always been.
Was it?
Yeah, that's how I beat Ivy. I just double click R. I never run. Yeah.
Oh, it was the other gadgets that had the quick select on them. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But I think that is why the triple Batarang and stuff went the way of the wayside, because in the other games you get the opportunity to use your gadgets more and stuff.
Yeah.
And you get the Batclaw really kind of replaces the triple Batarang as the thing they use to take out the one dude with a gun.
Which is always fun because if I'm like down below the guy, like he's peering over the ledge, I'll just fire my Batclaw, yank him down, watch him fall, and grapple up elsewhere.
Batman kills people in this game.
He does. He really does. Like, he will throw people off a cliff. It's bad.
Yeah. Or everyone does it. You pick the one guy up and you like hang him there. He's freaking out. All his friends come over.
Yep.
And he's landing neck first. That dude's dead.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah. I think that does it for this part. Until we get to the Scarecrow stuff. Any other things you want to bring up before we get any further?
I just really like I like battle damage Batman. This was one of the first times you saw, and like as the story got progressed and stuff, you started seeing like he's got this slash.
Yeah, the wear and tear. Yeah, which reminds me, I love how I love how after you beat the game, you get Armored Batman, if you remember.
Yeah. And
Armored Batman is, I think, the prototype, like, Arkham Knight suit, if you think about it.
Okay.
Because it's like, it's got all the metal plating stuff, like, down the back, like, on the shoulders, and it's all there. And it's got, like, the gear thing on his arm, and I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I just kind of, like, looked at it, and I was like, that's a prototype Batman, like Arkham Knight suit. That's really cool, you know.
Now it is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's
like
if
you can. Oh.
No, but it's like if you go back and look at it, and then look at the Arkham Knight suit, you're like, oh damn. Yeah, go ahead though.
I'm saying it's if you like once you get like pretty battle worn and stuff, like the first thing that like happens is like he gets like cut across his chest and stuff,
Yeah.
and like some holes on his thing, and like a couple holes, and then you go and you're like, now you have like 3 inches of ballistic protection and stuff, and you're like, I don't know, Batman, you got a hole right over your heart. I'm pretty sure a bullet's gonna make its way in there. Like I don't know that this armor is any better.
Yeah, and that's
Sorry, go ahead.
no, that's the one thing. It's like I told you about this before, and it's like I love how they describe how your suit has been improved.
Yeah.
I love that. It's a little attention to detail. Now it's like, do you want ballistic or combat armor? Can't they just be more health in general? Like, when did that have to be an option?
Also, I'm pretty sure bullet immunity would help me getting punched. I don't know.
I don't know.
Go punch a bulletproof vest. Tell me how it feels.
Yeah, I'd rather not. Anyway, you were saying
the one thing I wanted to think about that I just remembered between like talking about the different suits and stuff. What do you think of Batman having a bat cave under Arkham?
it sounds like a him thing to do. I mean, if you think about it, it's like even he says as much as like it's like work last time. How'd you manage to keep this a secret? It's like it's me, remember?
But like, my next response would be, but no, really, how did you build a second Batcave? Who are the contractors you're hiring?
Yeah. That's the funny thing. It's like the people who what's it called? Built the Batcave and this second Batcave. Are they just gonna like retire at an early life, or are they just disappear?
Now, see, I've always thought, and this is more of a Batman in general, I feel as though the cave under Wayne Manor, Batman and Alfred, they probably could do that.
Yeah.
Like, it would be a lot of time, but the two of them could probably do it together.
Yeah.
Him doing one under Arkham, someone had to help.
Yeah, someone had to. Yeah.
That's why he has so many Robins. It's free labor.
Wow.
By this point, actually, Tim's already Robin, so Jason's already dead.
Wait, is Tim already Robin in this?
Yeah, you don't see him, but City only takes place 8 months after this.
Yeah, but even still, like, I don't remember there even mentioning like Robin or anything.
They don't mention any of them because they are not in the game. So why would they? But like Dick already has to be Nightwing to make any of this make sense.
Oh yeah.
And Tim must be, unless in those 8 months. No, because Joker looks fine when he kills Jason, and he gets all messed up at the end of this game. So Jason's already dead.
Wait, hold on, I'm confused. What are you talking about now? You're talking about in Asylum?
Yeah, I'm talking about by the time you get to Asylum and stuff, like we're so far into Batman's lineage and stuff. Tim's already.
Whatever. I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense, but it's just like I don't know, like at least a mention of like, well, Robin's taking care of things for now. We're not sure how long that'll be. Do you want Rob? It's like a simple like, what do you need me and Robin to do like while you're like dealing with the Asylum? Like a simple like throwaway like lets us know that Robin's there.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, it would have been. But
and I guess
that's just us rewriting things.
Yeah, and I guess though, if you think of it as an extension, as you can, as an extension of the animated series and stuff, you get to this is just like the Batman and Friends. This is the Batman and Friends era where Barbara is. No, she would be paralyzed by this point because she's already Oracle. But then you get Tim as Tim as Robin. It's not till we get far later that we have to start retconning that.
Yeah.
Scarecrow time?
Scarecrow, then I would say, like, if there's anything else you want to say on Riddler first, and then we can go to Scarecrow.
Okay. I love the just constant taunting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And by the way, I wanted to put an annex on this because... Not annex, asterisk on this.
Yeah.
Because you were right. The last time we talked about this, you were actually right. He does taunt you in Asylum and in City. It's not just night. I was like, oh, I feel kind of bad now. So it's like, so sorry about that. So
Yeah, no, that's fine. I love that he constantly is like, oh, I was running out of time. I had to put that one there.
yeah, it's like I would expect that one to be solved by a monkey. I'm like, shut up, Riddler.
But I love, because in your own head you have to, if you try and like take a step away from it, you're like, why is Batman even worrying about this? Commissioner Gordon has been taken.
Side project.
But then once you realize that, once you get everything and you find out that the entire time he's just been like having Riddler talk to him so that he can triangulate his location, it's like, oh my god, Batman's so smart.
Oh yeah, that's also funny too, because it took me a little bit, because I found everything, and I got so mad because I found everything except the last Arkham Chronicle. I wanted to get everything done and then finish the game, but I just missed it by like that much and everything.
Weird. Quincy Sharp has been possessed by the spirit of Arkham.
Yeah, that's weird. But,
I like it though.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just one of those things where I was just like, huh? But no, it's like I wanted to get that done beforehand, and I just missed it because I went through the wrong door and I couldn't go back.
Oh yeah.
Which reminds me, did you beat up all the goons in the hallway?
The first time I played through it, yes, because you don't know what you're supposed to do. So yeah, you beat up all the goons. But from now on, in every subsequent time, I like very slowly walk through every single one of them, and I'll occasionally like stop at one of them and just like, what's up? What's up?
Yeah. I think it's funny because the first time I did it, I just did it because that's how I got XP. Just beat up goons.
That's actually something, going back to what I was talking about earlier, about how like the overworld is constantly changing. You constantly see these guys, they're setting up, they're like hammering the 2x4s in.
And every time I passed them and they kept doing, like, stop defacing public property.
And you just think to yourself, like, what are they building here? What are they doing? And the first time you walk in and stuff, and it's just Joker with the TV on his head and stuff. And it's just so scary because that's the one time that it goes into first person mode and you have to walk down the hallway. A jump scare that never comes.
Yeah. Until that last one, then boom.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't get out of here.
Oh, that's something. If we're gonna do Scarecrow last, like we should probably talk about the finale. And Joker's ultimate plan was.
You mean Joker's ultimate form?
This isn't even my final form.
Yeah. It was. I saw the Mohawk. I was like, oh no. But throughout this whole thing, I love how if you pay attention to the Jack Ryder report, it's like Batman has been killed in Arkham Asylum. I'm like, what the fuck?
You are not a good reporter, sir.
You are not. It's like the reports are coming in that Batman has been killed. I'm like, do you have any eyewitnesses? Is there a body? Am I in the afterlife going through all this? What is going on? Like,
yeah, it turns out that first dude that Joker let out killed you, and this has all just been like hallucination.
Yeah.
Joker's like, I had this whole thing on a guest list that like let people out.
But then no, you killed him. I can just see like a whole like
Jerry.
Yeah, I can see like a whole like the one who got Batman or finally got Batman or somewhere, whatever that episode was. And it's
yeah,
we're gonna put that man in that coffin there, put him in that vat of boiling acid, and go out for Chinese. Who's down? Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah.
But that's just such a weird way to end the game with Joker being the Hulk, and the only reason you can beat him is because he's got to go like, hello, cameras, hello.
Like he's like posturing too much.
Yeah. I think it would have been much more powerful if you have like this big like boss fight and stuff, kind of like what you have when he's on his like tower. It's just sending dudes at you.
That was Harley. Okay.
What? No. I'm talking about like when he's on his like thing of like junk. He's got the ventriloquist dummy and stuff, and you got to fight like
that one.
dudes.
Yeah, and the two Titans, which kept killing me.
Yeah. I think if it had culminated in, if that was like the final boss fight, and then you finally get up with Joker, and then you kind of get the electrocutioner. Joker kind of gets the electrocutioner treatment, where you think it's going to be this big boss fight, but you punch him once, and he just starts rolling around on the ground laughing and stuff.
Yeah, but it's like, what even is like the point? Not the point, but do you think that would have been like retroactively thinking like would that have been more disappointing? It's like you had all this build up and then nothing.
No, I think that would have been very satisfying because the Joker is not a physical, imposing character.
That's why he has to take Titan.
Yeah, but that's why he surrounds himself with guys who are, right?
That's fair. But it's like, I love that fake out too. Here's the funny thing. It's like, you see this happen twice, almost if you count Joker 3 times. You get shot, you turn into a Titan. Duh.
Yeah.
Batman gets shot. He wills it to stay.
Well, that's because he's Batman.
I'm like, I understand that, but I'm like, they're just... What?
Night. To be fair, Night, your favorite game in the world, ends with him being like, and also every Scarecrow comic book ends with, I'm not going to be afraid.
Yeah, well, that's fine. That's like a mental overcoming thing. Like, he will not, do this thing.
Yeah.
That's fair. Like, that's like a more willpower, like, getting through fear and such. That's fine. But when it comes to, like, actual science, well, I was going to say actual science.
Bad science.
Or comic science or whatever. It's like, well, comic science, I guess, could be suppressed by will, but that's just so weird. It's like...
What you didn't know is there was a Green Lantern ring in his utility belt that was just like, his will was so strong that it was destroying all the Titan in his body. Green Lantern was for years at this point, and he's holding it because he believes that Hal's going to come back. So it's just in his utility belt. He's holding it. I'm holding it for a friend. I don't know.
No.
That's my headcanon.
Yeah,
there's a Green Lantern ring.
I know, but it's just like, it just makes no sense.
No.
But the fact he did use the antidote on himself, I was like, well, now how is he gonna beat the Joker?
Yeah.
Because now here's the thing, you forgot one villain when it came to that little combo. It's not just Joker and Hulk, it's Joker, Hulk, and Sabretooth. Like the long freaking
Oh my
nails.
god, yeah. He's so gross. I do love the way you take him out though with like the explosive gel on the knuckle. Yeah. One of the most metal things ever.
It's like, are you ready for round 2, Batman? He's just standing there like, face scratched, suit torn to crap, a cape that shouldn't glide, but it does.
It's a video game.
I know. It happens through all the games. I'm like, I just don't care anymore.
Boom.
But he's like, always. What? Boom. And I love this, too. It's like from this game moving forward, everyone who got turned into a Titan, got reverted back, they're fine. Joker is the only one who's dying.
Yeah. Well, I feel like at the end of the game, he like had the most powerful version of it, and he shot himself directly with it, like in the throat.
That's like, but he also shot like 2 other goons, like in the back. Well, yeah, it's in the back, but I'm like,
maybe it's just he's been exposed to so many
chemicals over the years. I guess I don't know. It's one of those things where I was like, eh. It just didn't make much sense. I mean, story beat's a story beat, but still, like,
yeah, it's a really good story beat, and we'll talk about that in the next episode.
Yeah.
But let's talk about some Scarecrow action, and then we'll wrap this one up.
Yeah. Scarecrow has like 3 different appearances. We talked about the first one with the best line out of the entire game ever.
Yeah.
I love the fake out in this.
Where you
it's
think
like-
Commissioner Gordon's
Yeah,
dead?
and it's even
Yeah.
funnier. It's like, Barbara, I'm sorry, I was too late. The number of dying is no longer in service. Please hang up. It's like, Barbara, are you there? Please hang up your phone. I'm like, okay. But that's like, if you, after a while, it's like, if after like the second or third time, it's like if you turn the camera around, you see him have those like orange eyes. I'm like, oh my god, is Batman becoming Brightburn? What the fuck?
Wow, interesting that you knew what Brightburn was way back in the day.
It's a retrospective like joke for today.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. But yeah, that was cool.
The second appearance
Oh my gosh.
where you turn from Batman and like the world starts getting it's
Yeah.
slowly transitioning.
Yeah, it's like,
into-
and I love that too. It's like, because I never noticed this stuff before until I like my second playthrough on a bigger screen. But if you look at the vents, like just after you leave that library, you'll
Yeah.
see this gas just kind of eke in. I'm thinking, okay, is this like what, Joker gas or whatever? No, he starts coughing. I'm like, oh shit, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's like, and you go down, you're going down like, you know, because it looks normal, and then you turn the corner, and that hallway just goes from like, boom, just it
Yeah.
never ending. And it's like the more you walk over, things are falling over, trash cans are coming out of nowhere, it's raining inside. It's like the atmosphere is just great, and then it's like a lightning flash, boom, you're like 8-year-old, you know.
Such a good transition.
Batman. Right. And here's the best part about it, though. If you turn that... I stopped. If you turn that camera around, you legitimately see 2 tear streams here just going down his face.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's just... And you got to see the type of people that Gordon worked with. He goes, all that money, he'll be fine. It's like, money won't replace what he lost. It's like, his butler's coming to pick him up. You hear that, Gordon? He's got a butler. I'm like...
Just those guys talking makes me be like, I'm glad that in Arkham Origins I beat up so many cops. Good.
Retrospectively, you guys are assholes. Yeah. Looking back, you guys are kind of a dick. You guys are kind of a collective bag of dicks. But it's like, you know. But Gordon, you're good. One thing. I don't know if this is still in continuity for Arkham. I'm sorry to cut you off. But do you know the backstory of Gordon's trench coat?
No.
Okay, so basically, sometime when he first got in, all of the like GCPD were in this dogfighting ring, because of course they would be, and it's like Gordon wouldn't take part of it, so he fought the dogs and won the trench coat. So the trench coats to remind him of not to remind him. But it's like, they did something to remind them of what he did, but he wears the trench coat to remind them that he won and of their guilt and of their shame, which I was like, oh, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I forget where I heard that, though, but I'm going to look that back up, and I'll tell you later.
Just talking about that second Scarecrow thing, before we get into what is arguably the best Scarecrow scene, which is the last one. I like the second.
No, I'm like, I'll tell you what I mean by the last one. Go ahead.
The second one, where do you remember how it ends? What happens when you come out of that thing? The Scarecrow.
You talk about this. What you're gonna have to tell me, because I'm like, I have them chronologically like in the thing.
You drop the bell.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
And it just destroys the door that you couldn't get.
Yeah. Sorry.
And that's the moment where I realized, Batman, someone's got to clean that up.
Someone's got to pay for. Oh, Bruce Wayne.
Like, Cash only has one hand. He can't lift that bell.
Let's give Cash a big hand. It's not like he couldn't use one. I'm like, Joker, shut up.
But, like, just, I love how every time you come out of the Scarecrow gas and stuff, something happens. Like, you drop the bell.
Which reminds me, how the hell did he get up there?
I don't know, just trauma.
No, just trauma. Wow. Okay. That's insensitive.
I know.
I was but it's like, I'm looking around, I'm like, how in the hell? It's like, because I go underneath the bell, and I see, like, this ladder that was destroyed. I'm like, maybe that was it, but I don't remember climbing a ladder in this thing. He's just like, boof, he's here. I'm like, what? Okay, whatever. That's fine.
Yeah. Let's talk about that the biggest one where the final Scarecrow scene and stuff, where your screen goes dark and stuff, and it's like,
oh yeah. Okay, okay. To me, that's the third one. But if you're talking like overall cutscene hallucinations, yeah, that would be the last one.
Yeah.
Because the last one you say that, I'm thinking like Scarecrow stuff as a whole. It's like the last one is like the 3 bat signals, and he's fighting all the skeletons, and I'm like, what? But it's funny to me though, because the pipes in the nightmare thing become swords.
yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool.
I think it's so interesting that somehow they were able to perfectly time how long the screen would go like blue.
Oh, mine just like froze and then just shut off.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, right?
Yeah.
So you got just enough time to stand up and be like, gotta go reset my console. And just enough time for you to reach your hand out. And then right before you push the button, it's like, comes back on as the first cutscene.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, this is good. But slightly different.
Yeah, it's like the bat part of the bat signal's upside down. Joker's driving the Batmobile. Batman's in the one here. You gotta... Now, then you die.
Do you remember what it says?
Use the middle stick to dodge the bullet.
Yeah. Grabbing for an N64 controller.
That sounds like you took my joke from another thing that no one really was there for.
Oh. Yeah, that never happened. You've never told any of my jokes in non-canon episodes.
Hey, but it's non-canon, so I just retconned it to be back in canon that you told that joke, so it's not even fair.
Fair.
But anyway.
Really, but I think that sequence is so cool.
Yeah, it is. It is amazing.
And then with it ending with Joker shooting you and stuff, and then when you come out of it later, after you've done all the bat signal stuff, and then even with Scarecrow, a plot point that's not going to get picked up for a while, but he's like, I'm going to infect all the water.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I see Croc jump up, take him, like, almost about ready to rip him in half. Batman throws a battering, takes out the shot caller, and just, Croc goes back down. I'm thinking, well, he's dead.
Yeah.
First thought, like, well, he's dead. Apparently not.
No. Because he'll be back later in the game as a slow, just scary boss.
Yeah.
So good. But Scarecrow, like, not enough things. I think there's a reason that they keep bringing back that Scarecrow is the main villain in Night, and why every other game has something kind of like that, because they realize, we struck gold with Scarecrow. Yeah. That's why you get the Copperhead boss fight. That's why you get Mad Hatter in the next game. Yeah,
we'll talk about that when we get to it.
That is a story for another day. So do you have any thing else to say about Scarecrow or Arkham as a whole?
Scarecrow, there was one we didn't even touch. It was the first one.
Oh, with the dead parents, and then
no, not even the dead parents. You go into the morgue, all the things like get out, like I forget what the movie was. It's like get out, you don't belong here, get out. It's like all the doors start swinging open. I'm like, okay, I'm going out the door. You go out the door. Where do you go? Back into the morgue. Like, what?
Yeah.
Then you see 3 body bags. I'm like, what? Martha.
Why did you say that name?
I gave you the second to say that. Then it was Thomas. Then I'm like, is that Batman? Is that Alfred? Is that Gordon? Who in that body bag? It's freaking Scarecrow. It's like, because you open it, it doesn't go open, and then you just see Scarecrow go, bah! I was like, okay.
The thing is, though, if you just sit on it and you don't unzip it for a second, you can see like the orange glow coming through the bag.
Oh, I didn't see that. I gotta go back and look at that then. That's cool.
Because the first time I did it, I had to put my controller down to like do something on the side and stuff. And then I look back and it started to glow, and I'm like, oh, Scarecrow's in there.
See, yeah, you're not supposed to like not look at it. You're supposed to go into it and then just open it and then get jump scared. Yeah. Which I don't think I was jump scared. I was just like, meh. Like, okay.
But so messed up with like, you should have saved us.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Why, Bruce? Why'd you let us die? I was like, oh, that's some guilt stuff.
A lot to put on an 8-year-old, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
He was small. He's just a small boy.
Yeah, it's like another thing though. I also misspoke. It's like during that alley scene, it's like you see you see his parents, and you also see him like kneeling down. It doesn't the bat signal does not encompass the whole thing, just Bruce.
Oh yeah.
Oh I'm like, oh, that is so good.
So good. It is
so good.
really good.
Yeah.
That's just what a good game, right?
Yeah, what a good game.
What a great
PlayStation exclusive.
You said, okay, this is a little off air stuff. You don't even like playing as the Joker.
I haven't gone back to finish the stuff because, like, my thing is, I'll go back. I'll do all of the like side quests and the what's it called? Side quests, the Riddler trophies, which I think that kind of counts, but whatever. But it's like I won't do the challenge stuff until like my second go around because it's like I'll loop back around and then try and master all those things.
Yeah.
With one exception, which was the two trophies, not Riddler trophies, but two trophies or achievements, where it's like if you went through an Asylum, if you went through the like an entire combat thing and did not take a hit, like did not take any damage, you got like the free flow perfectionist or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it's like the Invisible Predator achievement / trophy would be like you go through the entire thing without getting spotted.
Yeah.
I got those two because I was like, whatever. It took me 5 minutes, literally like 5 minutes and like 18 seconds or something, to get that last one. To get the Invisible Predator. Because I was like, I was going to go right from one to the other, but I forgot because I didn't know what they were. So it's like I went from like the main place, like the first staging area, to the like hospital room. Which, by the way, how good was that hospital room for Predator stuff?
Pretty good.
Yeah, that was
pretty good.
That was good.
That's really good.
Like you had multiple things to blow up, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Just the gameplay of like the Predator mode. It's not. That's the thing that is most impressive about this game.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be like my final thought on the matter.
Yeah.
There's two like pillars of this game, which is the stealth and the combat. And neither one of them feels, a lot of the times in like stealth games or action games, you're like, man, this is the stealth mission in Call of Duty. I don't want to do that. Or if you're playing like Deus Ex or something, you're like, oh, now I got to go. I have to fight, but I want to be stealthy right now. Both of them are so rewarding.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And sometimes they can go hand in hand, too, which is really good. Because it's like, say you flub up, and it's like, but the one guy is like so far away from the rest of their group, you know you have a few seconds to get there. You can knock him down to a quick, like R, like right trigger, like triangle or whatever, takedown. Yeah. And like knock him out real quick and then just get out of there. So they can go hand in hand sometimes, which is really cool. But do it too often, you get sloppy.
Oh, yeah. And
then you get dead.
Suddenly gargoyles are blowing up. You're getting shot out of the air.
It's like, this is not a good day.
No. It was a long night.
Yes, it was.
It was. So good. And I'm so excited for the next time we talk about City.
Yeah.
And for you to try and sell me on why night isn't awful.
Well, you know, it should be self-explanatory. It's a bigger map, bigger stage, bigger, enemies and such, which we're going to get to the whole Arkham, the whole Titan thing later.
What an American concept. It's bigger because it's better because it's bigger.
I didn't say that, and why are you being racist?
What?
You Canadian.
What am I doing? Canada, bigger than U.S.
No, you can't use it against me. Anyway, so before we go here, final ratings for Arkham Asylum.
Oh, Arkham Asylum, like 9.5.
Yeah.
So good. I think it posthumously loses 0.5 just because it's hard to go back to Asylum if you played the other games because they just make so many small quality of life improvements.
Yeah.
like being able to do like the quick takedowns and stuff, and the quick fire. Like I will constantly be like right trigger Y to like grab that guy from over there, and I'm like, oh no, that doesn't work. I gotta select my thing. But the story is so good. The game is so good, and just you know what? Just 9 for Joker's Mohawk. Loses 0.5.
So loses the whole point for gameplay and Joker's Mohawk. Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I gotta say 9.25. Just because, 9.
Have you subtracted Mohawk?
That is with subtracted Mohawk.
Okay.
Because it gave me a very funny moment with my cousin. I was showing her like the Joker trophy for this. She sees the whole thing. First words out of her mouth are, "That's hot." I was like, "What?" I'm like, no. She's like, "No, the Mohawk." I was like, "That's not what you said."
No.
I was like, "Okay." And I pointed out like the rib protrusions and like the long fingernails. She's like, "I meant the Mohawk." I was like, "Sure you did." So I took off another 0.25 because it gave me like for the Mohawk, but I put the 2.25 back in because it gave me that memory, which is always funny.
Yeah.
So there's that. But one last thing I want to add on this is going from normal to hard in difficulty. It takes away the counter prompts.
Yeah, so you really gotta.
Yeah, which cleaned my clock more than once, and I got really frustrated with that.
But then once you start getting into that,
once you start getting into it, you're I would say almost unstoppable, but I haven't gotten that far yet.
You are the Batman.
Yeah, I am the god dang Batman. You know, so yeah, I think that'll do it for this one. We are coming up here. Was there anything else you wanted to go over, like overall, as far as this goes so far? Anything you're looking forward to talking about next game or next episodes?
I've said my piece on what I want to say with the next episodes and stuff, and I'm happy with where we're leaving it.
All right.
Follow me at Leaves Me Alone, people who are watching.
And of course, you can find me at TheRyanCrossProject, which is right here. Oh, nice and beautiful. You will find this under the Heroes Through Time.
I agree. That's a good name.
Heroes Through Time.
I don't know what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So Heroes Through Time episode, which is what we recorded while we're doing this. So if you're hearing this on the YouTube, you can find this at the Facebook page at facebook.com/TheRyanCrossProject. From both of us here on the Ryan Cross Project, because Dan, you are part of this team. We will say good night and keep your controllers charged.
Yeah.
And we're out.
All right, guys, come back in here one more time saying if you made it this far through this, I want to say thank you very much. Well, we were at the almost the quarter just before 2 o'clock. It's not 2 o'clock. 2 hours here. I want to say thank you guys for listening this long. And we will be coming up with just Arkham City coming up soon, and I hope you didn't mind me kind of moving this stuff as we were going. I kind of did this on the fly, just kind of make it a little bit different other than just, the regular stuff we've been doing, kind of change it up for you guys. So people who are if you watch this live on the Facebook page, you get that experience, and on this end, you get this experience. The audio is going to be a bit different because I didn't really set up my microphone for this. Also shut off my air conditioner, so that should be better. But I will see you guys next time, and once again, thank you for tuning in.